I think what will continue to happen is a greater openness of some countries to look at the overseas provenance of an idea. So, whether that's a British broadcaster looking at material that starts in New Zealand, like Top of the Lake, or a French broadcaster working with an Italian production company on something which feels very relevant to their audience. I think we are moving away from a purely parochial kind of domestic view of some drama, not across the board, because every broadcaster is going to have a range and things that are more local, but I think you'll see that. But on the kind of flip side, I think that you do have to be very kind of watchful and slightly distrusting of this whole international co-production thing, because you get shows, and a fair few come across my desk, which feel kind of too designed. A co-production should only be a co-production out of sort of common vision and some degree of necessity as well. So I don't work with a huge number of shows at any one time, and the ones that I do are at various stages of development. And the ones that I worked on, I think I can honestly say, have been organically co-productions and have either been realised according to their original vision, or arguably even sort of slightly improved by the addition of another party. So, regarding also the form of the content, and also the kind of distribution and sales and broadcast strategy, I think that you see many more broadcasters wanting to be day and date in terms of, if they're going to acquire something, they need to make sure that they are as close to the transmission date of the original as possible, because we've got a tech-savvy audience out there who will find the show and quickly render it, particularly if you're operating a subscription service of some sort. You don't basically want to have the value taken out of it by people finding that show elsewhere. The subscription service has also, I think, led to the return, the not complete return, but definitely the rebirth of the serialized drama. For many, many years, the mantra has always been, selling into kind of some of the European territories, episodic, because there's that sense that you could kind of graze on the television and kind of join it at any point and it will be fine. And I think that is it's a tremendously important skill that will kind of still stay. But I think what you have seen is great multi-layered, novelistic, serialized drama, and that has been brought back to the forefront by almost like the survival of the DVD business and the contemporaneous arrival of the kind of SVOD business, which is the digital business in a nutshell, really. There is always going to be an appetite for scheduled television because it just fits with the rhythm of the working life. So, and that will dictate the age of your audience as well, because you're more likely to be not caring about scheduled television in your 20s, when you're kind of got better stuff to do. But actually, those people will soon become, settled in some form of, hopefully, kind of gainful employment and family lifestyles, and you come home and you want stuff to be served up to you. So that kind of, those two modes you have of leaning in and finding it, or actually just being served it up, will always, I think it will coexist, and one won't supersede the other. But it's obviously a huge advantage that you don't have to, that you can find something if you've missed it, which is great.